held recently, we had a chance to discuss an incident which has been at the forefront of our nation's agenda in great details. Before all, this midnight declaration, with its discourse, with its method, and the discussions that it will bear fruit, is actually an attempt with negative behaviors and will. 104 retired admirals came together and they made a declaration which hinted, coup, this is not the duty of retired admirals. And in addition to that, non-retired officers have the right to make such kind of an attempt. Those admirals, diplomats, in the recent years have made lots of statements from Libya to Syria, from Cyprus to Nagorno-Karabakh, but those diplomats and admirals never made a declaration which was supporting their country. And at the same time, we have never seen them siding by our nation during the coup attempt instigated by Fethullah terrorist organization. Quite the contrary, the retired admirals who have undersigned this aforesaid declaration has presented such attitudes against our nation which we have followed with great sorrow. Well, the main issue with regards to this discussion has nothing to do with the freedom of expression. Certain names who have undersigned this declaration have articulated similar comments in the media in the recent years. Up until now, no investigation had been initiated for anyone who have expressed their free opinions. But in a country whose history is full with coup attempts, cannot accept 104 retired admirals to make such kind of a declaration midnight. This has nothing to do with the freedom of expression. The freedom of expression cannot have anything to do with statements starting with if and buts by threatening the legal representatives of an elected government. Even if they are retired admirals, such kind of an attempt will be regarded as an insult to our armed forces. Such kind of attempts cannot be acceptable and will be regarded as an attack to the national will and the rule of law and democracy. This declaration has been reacted in such a negative and aggressive manner by our nation, and this declaration has been understood as an integral part of a hidden campaign against our nation. Certain groups who are comprised of so-called intellectuals with similar attempts try to attack on our judiciary, on our legislative forces, and also our executive power. At the same time, I would like to state that those people, unfortunately, didn't construct anything on those lands and didn't serve for the good and utmost well-being of our nation. And unfortunately, certain of our politicians are denying themselves by supporting those people who made such attempts. We were expecting from our politicians to stand strongly against those attempts. If they have done so, then we would only be here to present our thanks towards the support given for our national will. All coup attempts and the tutelage supporters try to dominate on the national law, and all anti-democratic initiatives have been supported by this dark mindset, which we have seen once again with this attempt. Although they have received their answers from our nation after the election, the main opposition party once again didn't side with the democracy. That's why we are making a call to the main opposition party to side with the democracy. On the other hand, I also would like to thank all political party representatives and leaders who have sided with our democracy. I also would like to thank the NGOs, universities, and any stakeholder in our nation who sided with the democracy. On behalf of myself and my nation, I would like to present my thanks to them. At the end of the day, the only addressee that we are responsible for is our nation. That's why we came together in order to discuss those issues, and we came together in order to share our roadmaps for our future with our nation. The ones who dare to threat our nation and the legal representatives of our nation will be pulled down by a peg or two. There are the ones who despised this attempt. Any attack oriented against democracy comes after such declarations. That's what they have done in 27th of May against Adnan Menderes. And during 12th of March, as you know, the coup took place after a declaration. And they also tried to intimidate the governments in the past in a similar fashion. And they attacked during the 27th of March to the legal governments of Turkey with a similar fashion. As we have showed our response in the most solid way possible, they couldn't achieve their goals. During 15th of July, they made a coup attempt, but they have to flee away after seeing the strong response coming from our nation. In the face of attacks to our national will, unless we are taking such strong measures and precautions, our nation is well aware where those attempts can lead to. That's why we have to take this declaration into consideration, and we will take every necessary steps in order to prevent such attacks. Of course, there will be ones who will try to abuse this declaration, and we will face with them during the general elections. And our nation will determine who is siding with the democracy and the rule of law, and the ones who are siding with the tutelage supporters. Hopefully, during the 2023 elections, we will present those events into the discretion and disposal of our nation, and all together we will follow our future through which we are fighting for our well-being and our independence. My august nation, there are two claims which has been put forward in this declaration, and one of them is the fact that the Montreux Straits Convention has been opened for debate, and the second claim is about certain videos which has been shared in the media. As you know, after the independence war, the problem regarding to the issues of straits had been delayed to be resolved later. And in 1936, we have undersigned the Montreux Straits Convention with the states who has nothing to do with the straits, by the way. Of course, without a doubt, this convention has left the sovereignty of our straits to the Turkey, although presenting certain limitations. But this is an important gain for Turkey, and there have been many conflicts with regards to those Montreux Straits Conventions in the past. The vessel traffic in the straits can actually endanger in the area, and this is another side of this issue. Despite all, we attach significant importance to the political gains that we have received with the Montreux Straits Convention, and until a better agreement can be established, we will be loyal and committed to the articles of the Montreux Straits Convention. But why the Montreux Straits Convention has started to be discussed? Well, in army, in diplomacy, and also in our universities and academies, many different opinions have been articulated about the Montreux Straits Convention. During the days when the Turkey has decided to unilaterally withdraw from the Istanbul Convention, a question has been forwarded to our spokesperson and the president of our parliament. Being an advocate himself, theoretically, he spoke about the legal technicalities, but he, in a crystal clear fashion, has stated that there is no possibility or probability that the Turkey can withdraw from Montreux Straits Convention. And this discussion has been the backbone of the declaration announced by the retired admirals. If the aim is to contribute to the future of the Montreux Straits Convention, then the academic platform or the media should be chosen rather than expressing your view through declaration. And this is the way which is taking place right now. No one has been investigated judicially due to their opinions on the media or in the academy. But this declaration, which has been published midnight, is out of this context. The connection which has been set between Kanal Istanbul and also the Montreux Straits Convention is groundless, by the way. Kanal Istanbul will ease the naval traffic in the straits, and as a result, Turkey will have such an alternative without sacrificing from its sovereignty. So this is our fight in order to preserve our sovereignty. So are we sovereign on the Istanbul Straits? Unfortunately, in another saying, Kanal Istanbul will strengthen our sovereignty rights in the Straits. If you are speaking about the Atatürk's revolutionary principles, then in order to strengthen our sovereignty, we should support this Kanal Istanbul project. The ones who are standing against it are the biggest enemies of our nation, of our republic, and Atatürk, by the way. So, as the President of the Republic of Turkey, I will do whatever the interests of our nation demands. At the moment, we don't have any plan or agenda or intention whatsoever to withdraw from the Montreux Straits Convention. But if the need arises, in order to provide better conditions for our nation, we will never abstain from reviewing any international agreements, and we will open those agreements for further discussion. And with regards to the second claim in the declaration, I would like to make a couple of announcements to my august nation. In the past, the rectors have participated in the meetings and demonstrations standing against people wearing headscarves and turbans, and we actually sided against them, and we criticized the members of the parliament and judiciaries who were criticizing the clothes of the people. And in the past, we also clearly stated that what the military was doing in our democracy was not right. And this is where we stand today as well. And we never had a positive view about the soldiers who are not acting in accordance with the disciplinary measures of the Turkish armed forces. So this is clearly an individual event, and the moment that this video has been broadcasted, our armed forces have initiated an investigation which has been given verdict, by the way, and I am certain that the Ministry of Defense, who is working on this incident, will definitely do whatever it is necessary. So this video, which we find inappropriate, by the way, shouldn't be abused by anyone whatsoever. At the same time, our National Defense University should not be abused with the discussions of being against Atatürk's principles. In the past, the hints of coups have been articulated with sentences like "the young officers are unhappy," but right now they are delegating this mission, this hints of coup attempts, to the retired admirals. Once again, I would like to state that despite the political authority making hints about coup is actually an open threat to our constitution. Even this discussion in itself is an important indicator for a need that Turkey is in need of a modern and civilian constitution and a transition from the product of the coup period. So we will never tolerate any attempt on our constitution and a democracy which will down the morale of our young people. The main opposition party claims that this discussion is a cover for the economic turbulences, but quite the contrary, I would like to state that they are the ones who are inflicting the utmost damage to our economy. And I will announce the success story of Turkish economy despite pandemic on Wednesday night. The ones with the ambitions that they will try to grip to power by abusing those topics, I will leave them to the discretion of our nation. The leader of the main opposition party, together with his wife and his relatives, have supported those attempts, and you will see those support in the written media. And I have to say that the main opposition party is at the center of such attempts. We discuss one thing in the Turkish economy: investments, employment, production, and export will be the basis of our growth, and we will continue to fight to improve our economy. From the time that we have come to office, chronologically, we have progressed our nation, including but not limited to investments. We improved the economic stance of our nation, and those information will be announced during my speech on Wednesday night. And our democracy has been strengthened on the basis of our national will, despite the tutelage supporters and coup attempts. And we will continue to improve our democracy, even if we have to give our lives. With those sentiments in my heart, I would like to extend my gratitude and deepest respect to each one of you, and stay safe and healthy.